go ahead and maybe try and get it addressed. Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay, so good morning. It is the morning grind. I'm so excited to be here. Does anybody know what today is? It is Halloween. See, closers are always correct. And Allie, today is a closer. Yesterday, not so much.
Absolutely.
Tomorrow, who knows?
We got two closings today.
Who we got?
Tommy's closing.
Tommy and Allie.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm doing Tommy's own. So yes, super excited for you, man. Is Tiffany excited?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Very good, very good. Okay, so let's go around the room and talk about what we're thankful for. And actually, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about what we're thankful for, but then I want to share a Halloween story.
All right.
So the topic of today's show is trick or treat. You decide, right? Not hard to figure out how to draw a straight line between what's Shannon talking about, and it probably has to do with looking at the world the most positive way possible, right? Pretty straight line. So that's the theme of the show, but we're going to start out with what we're thankful for and a great holiday Halloween story. Ed, you're up top. Let's go. What do you got?
What I'm grateful for.
What are you grateful for?
I'm grateful that Allie is closing today.
Supporting the team member, man. I like it. Very good. Okay, so what's a great... Yeah, hey, no better reason, right? All right. Good Halloween story. What you got? Any good ones come to mind? All right, Josh, what are you thankful for? We're going to let Ed think about his Halloween story.
I am thankful that I got up and worked out this morning.
Got him worked out. All right. I got it. Did you do get your road work in, heavy weights, powerlifting? What was on the list?
Chest and tries.
Little chest and tries. All right, I got it. What's a good Halloween story?
Couldn't tell you.
Couldn't tell you, man. We got no
Damn.
good Halloween stories. Okay, so going back to Ed, what do you got, man? I'm looking in the bag. Is it a trick or is it a treat? What do we got?
There was a girl dressed up just like the girl I was dating at the time at this party.
I'm already liking this story.
I was a little bit tipsy and I walked up from behind her and just grabbed her butt.
Right?
And she turned around and I was like, "Oh, you're not who I came with."
You
Sorry about that.
you also look like Elvira, but not the one I came with.
Yeah.
I got it. Okay. All right. Josh, what are you thankful for this morning?
Thankful the Celtics won last night.
Okay.
Big win for us, 3-0.
I got you. Start off the year right. I
And also
understand.
hit a parlay, made a little money. But besides that, my Halloween story that sticks out to me the most was my first time ever getting drunk was on Halloween.
Was it this morning?
Yes.
Well, there you go. All right. No, so.
I was like, no, I think I was like 12 years old.
Oh, okay.
Or 13. I can't remember.
Swear.
And God.
Yeah.
My friend's parents kept their vodka in the freezer at his house, and we were dressed up.
True confessions.
Dude, let's drink some vodka. So we took like 2 or 3 shots and just got drunk.
There you go.
Well, that's about how many it probably should take.
Oh, that's a great Halloween story right there. I'm digging that. All right. Allie, so what are you thankful for? And what's a good Halloween story?
I'm thankful I'm closing and I was able to help Tiffany get
Yes.
something she probably never thought she could.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
just make her feel proud of herself.
Yeah.
And honestly, the Halloween story is from this year.
Okay.
My neighbors across the street from us, their yard is filled with clowns. Like,
Okay.
I'd say 10 clowns. And the other night we were driving home, me and my sister, and she hates clowns. And one of them was like dancing with glow sticks.
Okay.
And it freaked her out, and I almost made her cry. But that's my Halloween story.
Oh my
But
goodness.
they're creepy. They really are. Like when I was pulling out of my driveway this morning, one of them just got its arms behind its back, crossed legs, staring at you. And
Yeah.
stuff.
So what does everybody think is the most creepy thing? Do you think clowns are creepy?
No.
Do you think do clowns creep you out, Ed?
I don't like midgets.
You don't like midgets?
Yeah, they scare me.
Got a little thing with midgets?
Like the midget in Wizards of Waverly Place.
Old women.
That one episode.
Man, old women bother you? Oh man.
I don't know.
Yeah, midgets scare
That's
me.
hard.
Like old wrinkly women. I'm just,
Jeez.
Jump scares,
Wow.
I think.
That's jump scares are your thing?
Yeah.
Golly,
For me.
goodness gracious.
I mean, I
Ed?
can stare at Michael Myers.
You know
in the
what
face.
scares me the most?
What?
STDs.
That shit's scary.
Speaking of trick or treat, so the topic for today's show is trick or treat, you decide, right? So a couple things about that. Do you remember any houses in specific when you went trick or treating that always had, the best candy?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And do you ever remember the ones that had the worst candy?
Yeah.
Raisins.
Raisins.
Trail mix.
What's the worst candy you've ever gotten?
Probably trail mix. I love
Oh,
trail mix, but
yeah.
not for Halloween.
Yeah, I mean, I like hot dogs, but not my Halloween bag, right? What about...
Great value? I don't even know what they like. Taffy. You know what I mean?
Just
The
little
smiley
little-
face
Yeah,
little
like,
colored
yeah,
pieces of
yeah.
plastic.
They probably spent $1 on the bag.
Yeah, there was something that I can't remember who it was. One of my friends was talking about that, and his wife had come home, had some Halloween candy, but she had like the little Smartie. There was something I can't remember exactly what it was. He was like, "You're gonna get us killed for giving this candy out. We're gonna get rolled. We're gonna get egged.
Yeah.
The whole deal." They used to give. You ever have people give like apples and stuff like that?
I got a Diet Coke one time.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah. Well, so trick or treating, you always say, is it a trick or is it a treat, right? And so life is like that a lot. You get to decide. You never know exactly what you're going to get in your bag, right? But I guess you do kind of get to decide where you're looking, though, right? I mean, you don't go trick or treating in places where you expect to get scary things, right?
Right.
Yeah.
You ever have people go to different neighborhoods, like not the neighborhood they're in, but they go to different neighborhoods to go trick or treating? Yeah. So, that's the first thing is you got to kind of figure out what you're doing and where you're looking. But then you never know what you're going to get in your bag, and a lot of times it's up to you to decide whether it's a trick or it's a treat. So, have you ever had something come into your life or brought into your life that you thought was one thing, but turned out to be another?
Many times.
What's an example of that?
My ex-boyfriends.
Perfect example.
Every one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why they're the
Really
ex.
good example.
100%.
Right? Yeah. So it starts out, everything is a treat. That's a treat that becomes a trick, right? So was it a trick to begin with?
It didn't seem like it. I should have known one of them though.
Yeah. Yeah. I understand. What about you, Josh? You ever have anything come into your life and you think it's one thing and turns out to be another? Maybe something that you thought was a trick or something that was a setback but turns out to be something positive?
Yeah. I'm trying to think though.
Yeah.
Definitely have. I gotta do some more pondering.
All right, think about that. Josh, you ever have anything come into your life that that looked to be one thing and turned out to be another?
Yep.
What's it?
75 hard.
Okay, what about that?
It was tough. I thought I was just gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna finish this and be done with it, and whatever. And it ended up being one of the best things I ever did for myself.
So it came in looking like it was going to be tough. Well, that's one of those things that you thought was going to be a treat. You just didn't know if you were able to discipline enough to
Actually,
get
no,
through it.
I didn't believe, like, everybody was like, at the end of it, you feel different. I didn't believe that. I was like, yeah, right, you just, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I actually ended up feeling really good after it. So.
Ed, you ever have anything come into your life that starts out one way and turns out to be something different than you thought?
Sure did.
Okay, what's a good example?
One time I got catfished.
I don't know what that is.
Well, I was
What does that
on
mean?
Tinder and it looked like a really hot woman, and I went to go meet him, and they sounded more like this. And so I quickly.
So it turned out a whole lot better than you thought, huh? Thought it was a trick. Turns out it was a treat. Yeah. Well, so as you go through life, oftentimes you get to decide whether something is a trick or a treat. So have you ever found yourself in a situation where you're telling yourself that something is wonderful, but turns out that it wasn't.
Oh yeah.
You ever have situations in your career where something happens and you think about it negatively, but turns out there's actually a positive outcome? What's a good example of that when in your real estate careers?
Getting a lead and not thinking it's going to be anything or it's going to be too difficult to figure out, and then you find something and you get it figured out.
That's a great one. How many times have you had a prospect or had somebody who's come to you for a housing need or a housing situation, and you think to yourself, I mean, you get to think right then whether you see that as a negative or a positive. So if someone comes to you and they've got a hard situation to figure out, how do you generally think about that? If they come to you like right now, affordability can be a challenge. So you guys are always looking for ways to help address that affordability. For example, Creeks Bend. Creeks Bend has some features in that neighborhood that can help bridge that gap a little bit for the right person, right? So how many times do you have people come to you and they have problems that they need solved, and you've got to figure out how to help them solve that problem, right? Always.
All the time, yeah.
Nobody comes to you and says, hey, I have all of my real estate needs met. I just thought I'd like to get to know you. Right? That's not that, they come to you because they have a problem, they have a challenge, they have something that needs to be solved. So if you look at each one of those as what they are, which is a treat, because if you didn't have people who had issues and problems and challenges to solve in their real estate world, then what would you be doing?
There wouldn't be a
Cleaning carpets.
Something besides helping them with their real estate, right? So every time somebody comes to you and they're in search of a solution, you need to be able to see that immediately for what it is, which is a treat. Because if they did not have problems, did not have challenges, did not have solutions for you to address, then you would not be a necessary part of what they need to have done. So you wouldn't have a chance to help. So when you see those things come up, you can look at them and either see all the ways that it's not going to work out or see all the ways that it will. And a lot of times you've got to do both for your clients sometimes. Like Tiffany, she's closing today, but there were times where it seemed dark, right?
Yeah.
And you had to kind of keep pushing through. But without those problems, without those challenges, you don't have any opportunity to help. So keep that in mind. When you see those things come, you never know what life is going to bring you, but whether it's a trick or a treat, you get to decide. Van, take us out.